You know what keeps me up at night as a Lakers fan? It's not the losses. It's not the close games. It's the potential sitting right there in front of us that we haven't grabbed yet. And right now, there's a name that should be on everyone's radar. A player who's been quietly developing, showing flashes of brilliance, and might just be the missing piece we didn't know we needed. But before we get there, we need to talk about what just happened in our organization, because everything is connected, and this chess move the front office just made, it changes everything. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report. I'm here to bring you the latest update, the deepest analysis, and yes, the rumors that matter about our beloved purple and gold. If you're passionate about this team like I am, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button because we're diving deep today, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. Let me paint you a picture. November 25th, 2025. The Lakers make a move that on the surface looks routine, almost boring to the casual observer. We recall Bronny James from South Bay. We brought back a Thero. Standard stuff, right? Player development, giving our young guys some run in the G League, then bringing them back up. Nothing to see here. But then, and this is where it gets interesting, we signed Drew Timm to a two-way contract. Now, Drew Timm, for those who don't know, is a name that college basketball fans are very familiar with. Gonzaga legend, skilled big man, high basketball IQ, can score in the post, has touch around the rim. Solid pickup for depth, especially on a two-way deal. But here's the thing that everyone needs to understand. To sign Timm, we had to make space. And that space came from ending Christian Coloco's two-way contract. Coloco became a free agent on November 26th. Now, I want you to really think about this for a second. Christian Coloco is a 7-footer, a rim protector, someone we brought in specifically for defensive purposes and size. We invested time in his development. We saw potential in his shot-blocking ability. And we just let him go. Why? What does that tell us about the direction this team is heading? It tells us that the coaching staff and management are looking at this roster and saying, we need something different. We need versatility. We need players who can stretch the floor, who can create their own shot, who can fit into multiple lineups without clogging the paint. We have Anthony Davis. We have size. What we need is scoring punch from the wing positions, players who can knock down threes consistently, and guys who can defend multiple positions on the perimeter. And this is where everything starts to come together. Let me take you to Toronto for just a moment. On that same day, November 26th, the Raptors assigned Jameson Battle to Raptors 905, their G League affiliate, and then recalled him almost immediately. Now, this might seem like a completely unrelated transaction. Just another team managing their roster, shuttling players back and forth between the NBA and the G League. But I'm telling you, as someone who watches this league obsessively, who studies every transaction, every pattern, this is exactly the kind of situation where opportunities emerge for teams like the Lakers who are paying attention. Who is Jameson Battle? Let me break this down for you because this is crucial. Jameson Battle is a 6'7" wing out of Ohio State, undrafted in 2023, and he's been grinding ever since. He spent time with the Warriors in Summer League, impressed with his shooting ability, his size, his basketball IQ. The Raptors picked him up, and he's been bouncing between Toronto and their G League team. But here's what matters. The kid can shoot. I'm talking about legitimate three-point range, NBA range, with consistency. In his time with Raptors 905 last season, he averaged over 17 points per game with a three-point percentage hovering around 38%. That's not just good. That's exactly what modern NBA offenses are built around. He's 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan, which means he has the physical tools to defend twos and threes at the NBA level. He's not just a spot-up shooter either. He can put the ball on the floor. He can attack closeouts. He has mid-range game. This is a complete offensive player who's been waiting for his opportunity. Now, here's where my mind goes as a Lakers fan who wants nothing but the best for this team. The Raptors are clearly still figuring out what they want to do with Battle. The constant assignments and recalls tell us they're not fully committed. He's in roster limbo, that dangerous place where talented players get stuck because teams are either rebuilding or they have too many bodies at one position. Toronto is in full development mode. They're looking at their young core. They're trying to build around Scotty Barnes, and they have a crowded wing rotation. Battle is fighting for minutes, fighting for a consistent role. But what if he could come to a team that actually needs what he brings? What if he could join a Lakers squad that's desperately searching for reliable three-point shooting and wing depth? Think about our current roster construction. We have LeBron James, still performing at an elite level, but he's 40 years old. And we need to manage his minutes intelligently. We have Anthony Davis, dominant on both ends when healthy. We have Austin Reeves, who's been fantastic, one of our most consistent performers. We have D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, and a supporting cast that's shown flashes but hasn't quite found that consistent rhythm. Our three-point shooting has been inconsistent all season. We rank in the middle of the pack in terms of makes and attempts from beyond the arc. In today's NBA, that's not good enough. Championship teams live and die by the three-point line. Look at the Celtics. Look at the Warriors during their dynasty year. Look at any team that's won recently. You need multiple players who can space the floor, who can punish defenses for helping off them, who can keep the paint open for your stars to operate. Jameson Battle represents exactly that kind of player. Imagine this scenario, and I want you to really visualize this with me. We're in a playoff game. It's the fourth quarter. The defense is collapsing on LeBron as he drives to the basket. LeBron has made a career out of finding open shooters in these moments. He kicks it out to the wing, and there's Battle, feet set, in rhythm, and he knocks down the three. That's not fantasy. That's what this kid has shown he can do. He's a high percentage shooter with range, and he's hungry. He hasn't had his real shot in the NBA yet, and players like that, when they get their opportunity on a contending team, they often exceed expectations because they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. Let's talk about the defensive side too, because I know what you're thinking. Shooting is great, but can he defend? Can he hold up against the elite wings in the Western Conference? Can he guard Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker? Here's what the tape shows. Battle has the size and length to be a solid team defender. He's not going to be an all-defense guy. Let's be realistic, but he understands positioning. He can move his feet, and he plays with effort. In our defensive system under Coach Ham, and now with the adjustments we've been making, we emphasize team defense, rotations, and communication. Battle is showing the G League that he can be part of a cohesive defensive unit. He's not a liability, and when you pair that with his offensive upside, you have a rotation player who can contribute on both ends. Now, let's talk about the practical side of this. How would this even work? The Lakers just opened up a two-way contract spot by moving on from Koloko and signing Tim. But what if that's not the end of our roster move? What if management is looking at the bigger picture, evaluating every option to improve this team? Battle is on a two-way contract with Toronto right now, which means he's not a massive financial commitment. If the Raptors decide they want to go in a different direction, or if they're open to moving him for a future second-round pick, or even cash considerations, that's the kind of low-risk, high-reward move that smart organizations make. We've seen the Lakers be aggressive in the past when they identify a need. We traded for Rui Hachimura mid-season a couple years ago. We've made moves at the deadline. We're not afraid to be active. And here's the thing that excites me most. Battle is 24 years old. He's not a project. He's not a teenager who needs years of development. He's ready to contribute right now. He's been playing professional basketball. He's been in NBA training camps. He's been studying film, working on his game. This is a player who could step into our rotation immediately and provide valuable minutes. Think about those games where we need to rest LeBron for stretches, where we need fresh legs on the wing, where we need someone to come in and just knock down open shots. Battle could be that guy. And if he exceeds expectations, if he becomes more than just a role player, we could have found a legitimate rotation piece for the future at minimal cost. I want to be clear about something. I'm not saying Jameson Battle is the savior of this franchise. I'm not saying he's going to be the difference between a first-round exit and an NBA championship. But what I am saying is that championship teams are built on depth, on finding those hidden gems, on making smart moves that add up over the course of a season. The Warriors didn't just win with Steph, Clay, and Draymond. They had guys like Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston, role players who stepped up in big moments. The Lakers during our championship run in 2020 had Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Alex Caruso, guys who weren't stars but were absolutely essential to our success. Battle could be one of those guys. Let's also consider the timing of all this. We're approaching the midpoint of the season, and teams are starting to evaluate where they stand. Are we contenders? Are we pretenders? Do we need to make moves? The trade deadline is coming up in February, and you can bet that Rob Pelinka and the front office are already having conversations, already exploring options. If we can add a player like Battle now, or in the coming weeks, it gives us time to integrate him into the system to see what he can do in real NBA minutes against quality competition. It's a much better strategy than waiting until the deadline and trying to force a fit with a new player in the middle of a playoff push. And let's talk about what this means for our current roster. If we add another wing who can shoot and defend, it takes pressure off everyone else. LeBron doesn't have to play 40 minutes a night. Austin Reeves can slide into different roles depending on the matchup. Rui Hachimura has more flexibility in how he's used. Depth is everything in this league, especially when you're trying to make a deep playoff run. Injuries happen, foul trouble happens, guys have off nights. Having options, having players you trust to step in and maintain the level of play. That's what separates good teams from great teams. I've been watching this team for decades. I've seen the highs, the championship, the parades down Figueroa Street. I've also seen the lows, the rebuilding years, the frustration. Right now, we're in a window where we still have LeBron James playing at an all-NBA level. We have Anthony Davis in his prime. We cannot waste this opportunity. Every move matters. Every decision counts. And if there's a player out there like Jameson Battle who can help us, who fits what we need, who's available, we have to be aggressive. We have to make it happen. So here's what I'm watching for in the coming days and weeks. I'm watching Toronto's roster move. Are they going to commit to Battle, or are they going to continue shuffling him back and forth? I'm watching our own roster, seeing if there are any more moves coming. Any indications that we're looking to add wing depth. I'm watching Battle's performance in the G League and any minutes he gets with Toronto. And I'm staying connected to the reports, the insider information, the whispers around the league that tell us who's available and who's not. The Drew Tim signing and the Christian Coloco release tell us that this front office is willing to make changes, willing to try different things to find the right formula. That's encouraging. That shows they're not complacent. They're not just sitting back and hoping things work out. They're being proactive. And if they're being proactive about the two-way spots, they'll be proactive about the full roster too. Jameson Battle might not be on everyone's radar right now, but he should be on ours. He represents the kind of opportunity that smart teams capitalize on. Look, I'm optimistic about this team. I believe in LeBron. I believe in a D. I believe in what we're building. But belief isn't enough. We need action. We need smart decisions. And pursuing a player like Jameson Battle will be exactly that kind of smart decision. Low risk, high reward, addresses a clear need, and gives us another weapon in our arsenal as we push toward the playoffs. So here's my question for all of you watching right now. Do you think the Lakers should pursue Jameson Battle? Do you see him as a fit for what we need? What other moves do you want to see this team make as we approach the trade deadline? I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Tell me if you agree. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. Tell me who else you think we should be targeting. This is a community, and we're all in this together, trying to figure out how to get banner 18 hanging in the rafters. If you enjoyed this deep dive, if you appreciate the analysis and the insider perspective, do me a favor, smash that like button. It helps the algorithm show this video to more Lakers fans who need to see it. Subscribe to Lakers News Fan Report if you haven't already, because I'm bringing you content like this regularly, breaking down every move, every rumor, every development that matters to our team. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And share this video with your fellow Lakers fans. Let's get the conversation going about what this team needs to do to compete for a championship. The season is long, but every game matters. Every decision matters. And players like Jameson Battle, who might seem like small moves on paper, can end up being the difference makers when it counts. Stay locked in, stay passionate, and let's keep pushing for greatness. This is Lakers News Fan Report, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's go, Lakers!